What's good? What's good, fam? Sorry for the time. Bit of some crazy traffic heading here to Deep Blue today. I hope you guys have been having a great week. It's a beautiful weather, as you can see today. Blue skies. We always talk about the weather. It's like there's 1 week of good weather, another week of not so good weather. But that doesn't change our vision. It doesn't change the focus which we have for the next day. The weather may be, terrible today, but tomorrow we start afresh. We don't focus on that. Tomorrow we hope that the weather is better. And if not tomorrow, the day after, the week after, the month after, the next season, doesn't matter. We're always, ironically, always talking about the weather. If you remember, even the most awkward talks, when you're in an awkward situation, you ask people, how's the weather? Or the weather is good today, isn't it? Because it is something which accompanies us every single day of our lives. And although it's there, it doesn't stop us from getting where we want to get, reaching where we want to reach. We do what we got to do. It may be rainy, maybe a storm in your life today. Tomorrow, we start afresh. And on that note, let me just move further down here just because of the sound of there's Tali there. Who's there? They all see you, Tali. I was sharing we were sharing this past. Let me just do not disturb. We were sharing this past Saturday in our coordinators meeting, what we were speaking about last week, Wednesday, about how often we want a standard. We expect certain standards from people close to us, friends and so forth. But many times we forget to be that friend we claim we want to have. I was really thinking about it, and it's a key which we're going to be hammering on for quite a while, because it is in our interest to see the work of the YPG improving. And we're never going to get anywhere if we never admit the things which needs to be fixed. And I was thinking about, for example, when we go, I was reading the other day on Twitter about toxicity in workplaces, toxic environments which people have to deal with. And I was really thinking about it, how it is, to be amongst people who always wish for your failure, who are always hoping for you to fail, who are always hoping for things to go south in your life, who are always wishing the worst upon you. But in a work environment, everybody's competing. Everybody wants that promotion. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. But I do, to a certain extent, understand that. I remember when I was 16, and I went for trials at quite a well-known club in South Africa, very known club. And I went to train for a week with the under-17s. I think it was for 2 weeks. And unfortunately, the way I got in there was through somebody who knew me, who knew my family, and made a few calls and said, listen, I'm going to get you in. And I remember I didn't do too well in those trials. And one of the things which also contributed, one of the factors which contributed to me not doing well, was the fact that most of the players obviously weren't keen on seeing somebody else whom they didn't know just coming there, rocking up and doing well. I was expecting these guys to receive me as a friend, to receive me, as another teammate. Sorry guys, traffic wars are happening here at the back. We're hoping that the swear words don't come into the live or anything. We're just hoping. Yeah, okay, they're done. Okay, hopefully they're done. So I was there in that hope that everybody would treat me well and receive me. But nevertheless, when we were playing as a team, they would make sure I'd never get the ball when we would play the practice matches, and They'd never pass me the ball. They would make sure when there were tackles, they would make sure I get tackled hard. They made it chaotic for me. I felt like that was unfair. But as the years went by, I understood that that is in their minds. For many of them, they looked at me and thought, you don't seem like you're on a struggle, but for many of us, this is our only alternative to make ourselves and our family proud. This is our only exit from misery. And that's competition. That's normal. Is there toxicity there? Definitely. I'm pretty sure there is toxicity. Are there people who will do whatever it takes to stop others from succeeding? Most probably, definitely. Especially considering an industry which brings a lot of money, fame, status, and you can name it. But what happens when you have to experience that amongst people whom you expect the best from? What happens when you are on the receiving end of such treatment from people who will approach you in the promise of always being there for you? Like the YPG, for example, we promise to be true friends to you and tell you what it is, help you, lift you up. When you do wrong, we are going to help you, correct you and be like, we don't approve of that. But it is not in our interest to ever judge anyone. It's never in our interest to make somebody feel less than what they are. It's not in our place, it's not in my place or any of the other coordinators and mentors' place to treat somebody less, to pounce on the mistakes of others, because no one's mistake is my problem or my business, should I say. My duty is to seek the alternatives of what's right, show the alternatives, show the results, show the positives of it, and also remind you that there will be consequences for bad choices. There will be consequences for the moments in which we decide to make choices using our emotions instead of using our mind. And that's my duty, but it's not my duty to cast stones when anybody commits a mistake. And I was, and I'm going to continuously think about this and pound upon this very key, because I want to see the YPG growing. And sometimes we do so much to grow on the outside, but we forget about taking care of those on the inside. We forget about caring for those who are with us. Whether in the sense that we don't notice what's really going on with them, or because we're too focused on the mistakes which they may commit. Sometimes we're too focused on the errors somebody commits, on the flaws, and we forget that every person has a quality, as every person has as well their flaws, their mistakes. So I want us to all think about this. Our slogan worldwide of the YPG is Together as One. In Brazil, they call it Juntos e Misturados, which translated, it's a slang way of saying together as one. In English, we didn't find an exact slang on the same level. But I really want us to consider this. I really want us to think about this. I really want, from the coordinators to the mentors to the YPG members who are new, for all of you to think about this, and all of you to work, all of us to work on this. I was speaking to the YPG here in Holy Ground last week. I had a word with them after the service, and I was saying to them, many of you, I know you guys. When I see you, I'll greet you, I'll joke with you, hey, what's up, call you by your name and say something to you. But what about the cases in which it's someone I don't know? Will I actually go out my way and greet that person? Will I actually stop and make that person feel as welcome as with the one who's already here? I mean, you're a YPG member. I already know you. But I recognize you. I notice you, But what about those who aren't new? I think we should consider that. When you go to a school, there are always crews. There's a crew of those who do one thing. I remember in my school, there was the crew of the smokers. We had the soccer players the other side. We had the goth kids, the rockers and stuff. They would chill their side. We had the nerds chilling their side. There were a bunch of different ones. Don't ask me where I used to chill because I had to transition from one to the other. So I never had a specific group. But everywhere there were groups and groups and groups and crews. That should not be the case in the YPG. In the YPG, we are the crew. In the YPG, we are one. And that's it. There is no crew or schemes or cliques or gangs. There's no such thing. There's no one who is better than anyone. I was reminding the coordinators on Saturday, like a football match, a football team. Who is more important between the goalkeeper and the striker? They're both as important, because the striker can score 10 goals, 20 goals, 30 goals, 50 goals. But if there's no keeper there behind, who's going to hold that ball and protect it from the opponent's shots? So who's more important between the goalkeeper and the striker? Neither. Both are as important. Who's more important between myself, between PJ and that YPG member who arrives in the YPG today, who's going to attend or is attending right now something extra for the first time in his or in her life? Who's more important? Neither. Because there are things which only I can do, and there are things which only that person can do, which I can't do. We've been visiting the different regions here, and there's so many still to visit. Next year, hopefully, we'll be visiting the guys out there throughout the provinces. We hope so. But for now, we're still visiting. We have many regions, many branches still to cover. And we've been seeing such amazing work and teamwork from the different regions. Last week, we were in Lens. The week before, we were in Benoni. The other week in Hillbrow. The other one in Alex. And that was it for now, ne? This weekend, we're going to be in Tembisa. I remember Tembisa was the trademark of June 16 with the hey, bana, and all of that. All of that is just a result of people working together. People putting their egos aside, people putting their differences aside, and understanding that I need you, you need me, we need one another. That is together as one. I would like more of that in the YPG. I know that we're growing. I've been seeing amazing work from all of you. I've been seeing amazing, beautiful work from each and every one of you. Amazing work. And I want to commend you to keep it up and do more, do more, do more. It's never enough. Do more. But we can never forget those who are by our side. A simple, how are you doing? A simple, I missed you last week. Instead of, where were you? How about a, I missed you? It's not the same without you. And please, don't do it fake. Do it genuinely. Do it sincerely. Do it honestly. Do it with that honest desire to truly make that person understand how special and amazing and awesome he or she really is. PJ, I heard rumors that this person did something like ABC. That's not my problem. Oh, but I saw this person doing something. I saw this person smoking or drinking. That's not my problem. The moment you come to the YPG, I want to let you know that we're family. And I hope that will change, that you'll be able to overcome that addiction or whatever that's, holding you from improving in that aspect of your life. I remember when I came to the YPG, officially gave my all. It was when the coordinator at the time said to me, I need you. And that was something special for me. Although I was arrogant, proud, I was egocentric, I'll never forget what he said to me, I need you. And he knew that I was messing up. He knew that I was drinking. He knew that I had a bunch of girlfriends. He knew that I was going to nightclubs and doing a lot of things. But his approach to me was so different. I remember he spoke to my mom and I said, oh, here comes another lecture. But his approach towards me was different, because although I was living a wild lifestyle, he never judged me. He never judged me for that. So why should we judge those who are doing things which we may not approve? The YPG has the 10 commandments. There are disciplines. Yeah, for sure. We're going to implement and always keep upholding those. But we're never going to be here to condemn people. We may condemn the deeds, but not people. That's not in my interest. And I want to say to all of you that if that's happening, I apologize, because that's not how the work of the YPG should be done. I remind you, the slogan worldwide of the YPG is together as one. The original Juntos e Misturados, which is, from the Portuguese, from Brazil. And we sought to I remember it was even our fam in Foslo who gave us the idea. We put it initially together and united, and they gave the idea of together as one. And when we officially made the new t-shirts, we said, let's go with together as one. The togetherness of, I don't even know whose idea it was. I just know it came from Foslo. I remember it was Fosloras who came with the idea, who, rewrote it, and we went ahead with it. And props to them. Who wins? The whole YPG wins. On the other hand, when we mistreat people, when we judge people, when we nail them about their mistakes, their flaws, and that person decides, I'm never going to set foot in the YPG again, who loses? All of us, even myself. You might be there in Eastern Cape, Western Cape. You might be there in Free State. You might be there in KZN. You might be there in Limpopo, wherever. I might not know you. I might not know that person. But I also lose. We lose. Myself, Tali, who's here behind the camera. We all lose when we lose a family member. And sometimes that loss might not be the literal loss of somebody dying, but the literal loss of never having that person here. I repeat, we're not here to say that, hey, do whatever you want in the YPG. We're not going to judge you. No ways. We are going to continue doing what's right, and we're going to uphold what is right. That's for sure. The integrity, the 10 commandments. We've been putting the couples on Saturday in the Bible clock. Commandment number 6 still stands. That if you are interested in someone, you need to follow the guidelines. But also there is a commandment, I need to remember which one, which says that I will always seek to build the other members of the YPG, to lift them up. Have you been building people up, or have you been breaking them down? Have you been looking at their qualities and reminding them of how amazing they are, or have you been pounding upon their mistakes? I want us to think about it, because we've got a lot of work to do, both in the YPG and outside. I went with the Hillbrow fam. If you see earlier on, I was with the Hillbrow fam, and we were talking about the different projects. We promised them that we would have these projects, and what happens in these projects is awesome. But I ask you, what about those who are inside as well? We want new people to come, but sometimes we fail to care for those who are with us. I want us to think about that. And I wish that all the YPG coordinators will take this message and share it with all the YPG members throughout Mzansi. And for us to think about this, because we can do better. We can do much better. What does it say?
Number 10, it says, I'll seek to build up other YPG members and not tear them down.
Commandment number 10, I'll seek to build up other YPG members and not break them down. What kind of YPG member have you? Maybe you've been upholding. Even number 6, I'll never date anyone without speaking to my coordinator. Great. Number 10, have you upheld that? Have we upheld it? That goes for myself, starting with me as the coordinator. Starts with me, starts with Tali, starts with all of us. Uncle Vinny and Pastor Carlos there in Park Station. Starts with all of us and our respective wives and the coordinators and the mentors. It starts with all of us. Have we been building people up, or have we been breaking them down? It says never break. What does it say? Never break them down, huh? Not tear them down. My apologies. Not tear them down. So that's the word I wanted to share with you guys. And I said this and I say it again. You'll hear me speaking a bit more about this, because I repeat, we can do much better. Stop looking at people's pasts, because none of us are perfect. Remember who said, he without sin shall cast the first stone? So if you think that you've got none, cast a brick for all that matters. If not, don't look at what people did. Build them up. Somebody did something terrible. Somebody, I don't know what it is. Let that person know that we as the YPG fam, we don't care what they did. We care about who they are. And if there is any need for them to change, we'll be here in that process of change. I'm just going to summarize this by remembering that it took me over 20 years for me to take a proper decision in my life. Growing up from a good family, I never had a bad example set to me at home. But I chose to make bad choices. There were people who believed in me, and there were people who judged me. And until today, I'm forever grateful to those who judged me. Those who helped me, and those who judged me. Well, I'm sorry. Look where we are today. Look where we've reached today. Thank you to them as well, because, hey, we have a story to share. And because they judged me, it's made me today being where we are, to be able to say this, that we should not be there to judge others and think that we're better than anyone. I'm not better than anyone. I have as many mistakes, or maybe even more than you. You have no idea. But I can say to you that it's not in my space or in my place to tell you or to dictate who you are or how you should live your life. It is my place, however, to build you up and to take your life to another level, to take our lives. You take mine and I take yours. Got it? That's it from my side. I want to also announce that this coming Saturday we're going to have the Vibe O'Clock, 7 p.m. And on Sunday we're going to have, right at the beginning, the tiebreaker between, what is it? Northwest and Free State, ne? Yes, Northwest and Free State, ne? The rice guys. The rice guys. We are going to have the continuation, the tiebreaker, and then right after, we're going to have a 3-way challenge between Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and Northern Cape. Northern Cape represented by Kimberly, Limpopo by Polokwane, and Mpumalanga by our Witbank family. So it's going to be awesome. So there are going to be quite a few of them there. We're supposed to be sending our trophy through to you guys real soon. So just hang on. As soon as we have all the winners, then we're going to get the plaques and we're going to send it through to you guys. So just bear with us and we're going to send it through to you guys. And their task is that they're going to bring a genius and someone who's very good in spelling. I'm talking about the 3. The other 2, the tiebreaker is going to be, Mrs. Marcia was talking to us yesterday. She says, we want to watch the chess match. So Free State and Northwest, y'all better get your act together because we want to watch that match, that chess match. So Saturday, we're going to start with the chess match and then the geniuses are going to be there. And these 3, we also want to hear your guys' on Sunday, no? The war cry. We want to also hear the war cry from Mpumalanga. 60 seconds from Mpumalanga, another 60 from Limpopo and the Northern Cape. Okay? So there's your task. We meet Saturday, 7 p.m. and the challenge Sunday, 7 p.m. See you guys. Take care of yourselves. We're out of here. Not forgetting that we're going to another level. We're out of here.